Welcome to the Tez Down. I'm your boy Tez. Trying to figure out this new mic. Let's see if we can turn this down just a little bit so we can get this right. How do I sound, chat? Do I sound good? Do I sound good? Do I sound a little bit more clear than I normally do? I really want to know. Yeah, let me know what's going on, guys, so I can try to get this together. We got Uncle Plug TV. Uncle Plug is in the chat. What's going on, Uncle Plug? How you feeling? We got conversations with South Rain in here today too. How you doing, South Rain? I appreciate you. I feel you. Thank you for coming through today to watch the show. Yeah, check, check. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Trying to make sure this mic is the mic that's working. Been trying to see how do I sound, guys. Yeah, how do I sound? I definitely want to know. But we are live. We won't be live for too long today because we're not going to try to bump up with the classic codes. But we want to make sure that we get in this right episode today. We're going to make sure that we make it happen. All right. From the looks of it, from the sounds of it, we are good to go. I mean, the mic is working and it sounds like I'm very clear. I had to go ahead and do a self check. I had to do a self check. Don't nobody say I look tired today. If y'all say I look tired, I'm gonna kick you out. Just keep it 100. Don't tell me that. Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's make it happen already. Let's crack. Let's crack. Let's get it going. Let's get these people where they're supposed to be at and see if they can watch today with us and get it going. Yeah, this mic does not like static. This mic does not like a lot of stuff, but we're gonna make sure that we make it work the way that it's supposed to work. So let's get going. Let's make it. Let's get the right folks to get the right things, and I think we should be ready. We should be good to get it cracking. Mic check 1 2. That's another mic check. We're still trying to get it going today. Getting this mic check right. Getting this mic check right. All right, let's stop it from doing whatever it's doing. Let's fix that. There we go. No more of that sound. We got it going. All right, this is Tez. I am the Tez Down Show host for today, every day, and I want to see what this sounds like when I'm done. But we're gonna do our first video of the day for True Crime Monday, and I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be a little bit weird. I guarantee it. It's gonna be a little bit freaky, and let's just see what everybody has to say about it. Let's get this video up. How was the weekend, everybody? I mean, I haven't been able to talk to everybody, everyone that watches and everyone that comes through to talk to us. I haven't been able to talk to see how you guys were doing. I've been a little recused this weekend. We were busy in Chicago. Everyone from RSC, as you guys can see, I'm wearing one of the hoodies right now. We were a little bit busy today shooting some promo stuff for some things that we're about to do. You guys need to check out the Raw Society Coalition channel to get more from that channel and to see what we did over the weekend. There was a couple of different shows that was put on. They even did a classic code show that day. I wasn't there for that one, but the classic code show they did that night was excellent. There was people in there and everybody was talking together and it was great. It was great. Let's go ahead and get our video going. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get it going right now. Let's make sure the StreamYard is up and running and good to go. And yeah, we go. There we go.
A DoorDash girl. DoorDash girl?
As a DoorDash driver. For some people, she was the victim of an assault by a customer and was then silenced for speaking out. 2 months ago, Olivia Henderson was just an ordinary woman. Today, she's known around the world as a DoorDash girl.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my assault.
For others, she was trying to ruin an innocent man's life.
This is a man's world! I'm the victim! Remember? I'm the victim!
Day after day, she would post on TikTok about her traumatic experience until she went suspiciously quiet. And after a month of silence, the story took an unbelievable turn. And for her supporters, this new information might be a pill that's too hard to swallow. The story started with the release of this now deleted video.
That's dope.
The caption for this video read, "A man named Austin orders DoorDash, selects the option to have order left at door, sees his DoorDasher me has a female name, quote, falls asleep on the couch with his pants and underwear to his ankles and his front door wide open in 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is what I see when I have to leave the order." And this piece of footage has two very different interpretations. The most innocent one is that he accidentally left the door open and fell asleep in a very compromising position, presumably from being too drunk or under the influence. The more insidious explanation was that he had intentionally exposed himself, knowing that a woman named Olivia was calling to his door. And he used the fact that he was, quote, asleep as a form of plausible deniability. Olivia felt violated from this incident and voiced her concern on TikTok, but pay attention to the terms she used to describe what happened.
Here's an update for anybody who's interested. I commented, but my comment's getting buried in my comment section. I reported this to DoorDash over 12 hours ago, and they're supposed to call me.
So far, what we've got and what I've gathered is that there's somebody in here. There's somebody in here. Oh, you guys can't see the video. Okay, yeah, we can go back and do this again. The mic is good. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, you guys can't see the video. I don't know why StreamYard was doing this to me, but it looks like all your comments were hitting too. I don't know how many people are even in here or watching, but StreamYard's messing up on me. Maybe it has a lot to do with the fact that I added this new mic, but it's cool. It doesn't always like new things. But what we're going to do is we're going to fix that right now. We're going to fix that right now. Let's go ahead and put this video where it's supposed to go and where it's supposed to be, and then put me where I'm supposed to go and where I'm supposed to be, which is right here. I added another scene. Where's my other scene at? There we go. I added another scene. What's up? How you doing over there? Q6025. I feel you. How you doing? Nice to see you in here. Nice to see new people's in here again. I know you came through before, but it's nice to see you. All right. I can't see how many people are in here, so if I don't shout you out, it's because your comment didn't display. Okay. If I didn't shout you out, it's because your comment didn't display. So we're going to try to get all of these right. I don't know what's going on with this thing today, but as y'all can see, this is a little bit on the weird side. So let's just make it happen, guys. Let's go back.
AKA DoorDash girl. DoorDash girl?
As a DoorDash driver. For some people, she was the victim of an assault by a customer and was then silenced for speaking out. 2 months ago, Olivia Henderson was just an ordinary woman. Today, she's known around the world as a DoorDash girl.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my assault.
For others, she was trying to ruin an innocent man's life.
This is a man's world! I'm the victim! Remember? I'm the victim!
Day after day, she would post on TikTok about her traumatic experience until she went suspiciously quiet. And after a month of silence, the story took an unbelievable turn. And for her supporters, this new information might be a pill that's too hard to swallow. The story started with the release of this now deleted video.
That's dope.
The caption for this video read, "A man named Austin orders DoorDash, selects the option to have order left at door, sees his DoorDasher me has a female name, quote, falls asleep on the couch with his pants and underwear to his ankles and his front door wide open in 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is what I see when I have to leave the order." And this piece of footage has two very different interpretations. The most innocent one is that he accidentally left the door open and fell asleep in a very compromising position, presumably from being too drunk or under the influence. The more insidious explanation was that he had intentionally exposed himself, knowing that a woman named Olivia was calling to his door. And he used the fact that he was, quote, asleep as a form of plausible deniability. Olivia felt violated from this incident and voiced her concern on TikTok, but pay attention to the terms she used to describe what happened.
Here's an update for anybody who's interested. I commented, but my comment's getting buried in my comment section. I reported this to DoorDash over 12 hours ago, and they're supposed to call me back, which is strange because I've reported a couple less serious incidents before, and they called me back within 1 to 2 hours for those reports. So I don't know what's going on there, but I didn't report this to the police last night because I wasn't sure of DoorDash's process for like SA or if this was even reportable to the police in New York State because he was in his home.
What really infuriated many people was her decision to call this, quote, SA. You would mostly associate assault with some form of physical contact, maybe even words if you want to stretch it that far. But you could argue that it was an assault because you violated the other person's personal freedoms. But soon she got the police's interpretation of what happened.
But after so many people told me to report to the police, I did. And I called the non-emergency line, and they sent a police officer over to speak to me in person and watch the video that I have. And then he asked me to email it to him, and he asked me if I want to press charges, like what do I want to come from this? And I said, yeah, if there are charges to press, I would prefer that because I don't want this to happen to somebody else again. And he understood that, the police officer. And then he went back out to his car, and then he came back to me and he told me verbatim. It's not verbatim, but like it's the point that he said. He said he's not sure if that there are charges that can be pressed at this point because he was inside of his house. And specifically, he said it's not like he came up to his door with it out or like his window with it out or whatever. But it's like, come on now.
In the eyes of the law, this could be considered public lewdness, which is a serious offense, but not considered assault. This is usually for intentionally exposing yourself in a public setting, but can also include a private place where members of the public can see you. The key word here is intentionally, and Olivia spelt out what she thought proved bad intent.
It's like, come on now. Like, how likely is it that it's cold outside? It's pretty chilly. Your ceiling fan is on. You got all your lights on in your house. You got your front door open, right? You just ordered DoorDash 15 minutes ago. And within 15 minutes of ordering DoorDash and it getting delivered to your front door, you're asleep on the couch with your pants and your underwear to your ankles, your front door wide open, your lights on. It's freezing outside. Like, come on now. That is voyeurism. That is exhibitionism. That was something against my own will that I was fulfilling for that man. Oh, and I forgot to say the police officer said he was going over to the residence of that DoorDash customer to speak to him and see what his side of the story is, what he has to say about what was going on with him. And then another major factor that we're not even considering is that man lives in a duplex. In that video, you'll see another door next to his. That's another apartment unit right next to his. That could be a family. Anybody could walk out. See, listen, if I wasn't the target, you still shouldn't be whacking it off, whether you're drunk or under the influence of any substances, with your door wide open regardless, because anybody could walk out and get assaulted from that, seeing what you're doing on your couch. It could be a child. Anybody could come up on your porch and see that. Anybody walking by on the sidewalk and accidentally getting a glance would be a victim.
In either scenario, Austin was in the wrong, but Olivia is not really reflecting that she could be wrong too. In this clip, she admitted that there could just be a different angle to the story, but doesn't have the self-awareness to realize that she just assumed the worst of this man and blasted it all over social media. And once again, we come back to the fact that we still don't actually know what Austin's true intentions were. The strangest thing was that there had been no response from DoorDash as of yet, especially as the story highlighted the safety concerns facing many of its workers and customers. DoorDash eventually responded to Olivia, but not in the way that she would have hoped.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job and they won't tell me.
So, like, first off, I want to point out, like, no offense to anybody that's a DoorDash driver, no offense to anybody that delivers for a living. No offense to you guys at all. I think that's a good way to make money, and I think that in this society, it's very necessary for us to continue to do so. But I do got to point out something here, something that probably people seem to be overlooking, something that is bothering me a little bit about this whole situation. First of all, she's got a video of somebody chilling in their house, right? So it doesn't look like it was just an open door. That's number one. That's the first thing that I can see from this video. The second thing that I can see from the video is not only does it look like it's not an open door, but we're getting a video after the fact. This looks like an after the fact situation. Now, I'm not saying that, falling asleep with your junk out after ordering DoorDash is the right thing to do, or even an okay thing to do. I'm not saying that at all. But an assault, okay, especially of the S kind, come on now. Like, then we're not talking about calling the police. We're not talking about filing police reports. We're talking about TikTok videos. We're talking about someone that made a TikTok video and decided that they were going to put it on TikTok, and it was for people's entertainment. Because TikTok is an entertainment website, just like this one is. I'm not saying that YouTube isn't an entertainment website. What I'm saying is this was not done. This was not done for justice, and it doesn't look like it was done for justice either. It looks like she's trying to get views. And then I just lost my job. You're a contractor, and I know that all of the drivers that are watching, that have watched, and that do communicate about these types of things. You're a driver, you're a contractor, which means you can be terminated at any time for any reason. It's right there in the fine print. I'm not going to be long today, so we're gonna keep it moving.
Why? They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working. I was literally working, and they deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my assault while door dashing. They just fired me, and the police are doing nothing. I lost my job, and that was my only way to make money to pay my bills. Hey guys, so yep, I really lost my job. Within less than 24 hours after me submitting my appeal, they denied it. And in the email, they said, you can respond to the previous email that you received explaining the reason why you were deactivated. I never got the email. So last night, I contacted one support agent. We sat on the phone for 25 minutes, and then she transferred me to the community response team. The person on the community response team told me that was the highest team I could get to. There's literally nobody else she could transfer me to. I could hang up the phone and call back and then get transferred to the community response team again. So I sat on the phone with her for another 25, 30 minutes. And she told me that she couldn't tell me. There's no way that they could tell me what the reason I just lost my job.
To make matters worse, she now risks being banned from TikTok.
You guys, my account is currently at risk of being banned because I had to explain my story one time, right? They took the video down and gave my account a strike. So I explained my story again and censored the video that I have just so they can't take it down for the same reason. They took it down for the same reason again, and now my account has a second strike. Guess what? If I get one more strike, I'm banned from TikTok.
So like, I totally understand the rules and the regulations for these events, but I have a question. So you keep on posting the same video to TikTok, and they keep on taking it down. Why do you think that is? Why does anybody think that is? I want to say, what's up, Sco? How you doing up in here? South Rain said, what's up, Sco, too. I mean, I really want to know. What's behind them taking it down. T&J said, if it was true that the door was cracked, I'd be more concerned. Like, is he okay? Because that seems odd. It's just from my car. Call the police for a welfare check. What if it was a medical emergency? And that's what I'm saying. This wasn't called into the police. There wasn't a police report that was made. This is someone that decided they were going to make a TikTok video and upload it within 15 minutes of the event happening. Now, again, we know a lot about drivers. Drivers tend to leave your items at your door. They don't open your door. They don't walk into your house. They don't really try to interact with you at all. Soft Rain asks, was he just changing clothes or was he stroking? Well, he was asleep from the way that the video looked. He was asleep. We need to see some more. She's spazzing out and crashing out right now. Let's witness this crash out live here on the Test Down.
Not only did I get assaulted 3 days ago on October 12th on Sunday, I then lost my job.
Whoa.
The police are doing nothing.
Do not besmirch the glory that is the day of October 12th. Okay? October 12th is not going to be known for you in your TikTok story. That's number one. It ain't going to be known for Columbus either. You guys catch my drift here?
And if I get one more account strike on TikTok, my account's done. This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember? I'm the victim. And they took down my video. They were going to have to pay me for my second story time because that was over a minute long. They were going to have to pay me for all those views I got. So no, they took that right down. They took that right down. Absolutely not. They're not paying me for that. Nope.
So she painted herself as a woman living in a man's world, and DoorDash, TikTok, and the police were all taking Austin's side, the big bad people. The problem with this narrative is that TikTok and DoorDash can't just have their users violating someone else's privacy.
Yeah, exactly.
And remember, we still don't know what this man's intentions were. Ultimately, the case became something which depended on your own worldview. Just like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp or Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, people picked a side and viewed everything in black and white terms without even waiting for the evidence. But what swayed a lot of people towards Austin's side was the very...
Well, that's a number one thing in our society in the first place. Lots of people pick sides. People pick sides based on their worldviews. They pick sides based on their pain and trauma and their hurt. They pick sides based upon the things that they've experienced. And in this situation, it looks like a side was picked by most of social media. You know, I always caution everyone that watches, and as I can't see how many we have watching, but you know, from the comments, we got at least 5. Uncle Plug said this this chick here, you know, that I like to say with you, when you are consuming content, and I'll go a little bit bigger for this one, but when you are consuming content, please make sure, do us all a favor. Please make sure that when you're consuming content, that the content has some factual basis before you go spreading it around, before you go talking about it, before you go slandering someone, which is what usually this type of content is. You want to find out and say, well, where's the merit to this? Is there any merit to this? Or am I just freaking out because they want me to freak out? Am I freaking out because they're freaking out? Am I going to make this a bigger deal than what it is? Because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like a bigger deal is being made than what it is. But we're going to look, I'm not taking sides yet because I told you guys not to take sides either. We're going to watch, but I'm starting to see a lot of inconsistencies in this story. I thought this was going to go a completely different way, but apparently it's not going to go that way at all.
Last line of the clip I just showed you.
They were going to have to pay me for my second story time because that was over a minute long. They were going to have to pay me for all those views I got. So nope, they took that right down. They took that right down. Absolutely not. They're not paying me for that. Nope.
Olivia was trying to monetize her newfound social media fame. She was posting every day and definitely making the most of the attention that this case was bringing her. For many people, there was definitely more to it than Olivia's side of the story, and DoorDash soon released a very carefully written public response. We've seen some tough and sensitive posts over the past few days, and we want to clear the air. No one should ever have to experience SA, harassment, or abuse, and DoorDash never deactivates someone for reporting it. Full stop. We take these reports incredibly serious and work closely with law enforcement to investigate and support those affected. In this case, the Dasher let us know about an experience that made them feel unsafe, and that's exactly what we always want Dashers to do. Our team immediately began investigating and has been in direct contact with law enforcement and is prepared to fully support any of their efforts. However, posting a video of a customer in their home and disclosing their personal details publicly is a clear violation of our policies. That is the sole reason that this Dasher's account was deactivated, along with the customers, while we investigated. We've also ensured that the Dasher has full access to their earnings. We know these are sensitive situations, and we want every Dasher to know, if you ever feel unsafe or experience something concerning, come to us. We're here to listen, act, and support. Like clockwork, Olivia posted on TikTok once again, but for the first time, someone else involved had given a different perspective on the story, so you would expect her to engage with the points made in this statement. Instead, we witnessed a masterclass in deflection.
Hey guys, it's been a minute, a whole 24 hours, I know, but I have an update as of October 16th, 2025. But first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for the overwhelming support and allyship that you've shown me. It's really making me feel so validated and seen and heard.
So it's been 4 days since the incident took place. And the first thing that she came to do after everything that went down was she went back to TikTok. And I don't have a problem with people sharing things on the internet. You know, as it is still Men's Mental Health Month, the month of November. And we call it Movember, No Shave November. It is still Men's Mental Health Month. And I'm going to tell you, it's been a rough month for me, not just because of anything inside of my personal life, but just in general. The holidays are hard for a lot of people. And sometimes we do seek outside validation. We do seek trophies. We seek awards. You know, we seek to be around those people who encourage and edify us. And let me just say that mental health is hard, not just for men, but for everyone. And if she's misusing this platform for fake validation, then I'm heaping piles of coals on her head. If she's outing someone else in unnatural ways to get attention, then I'm heaping coals on her head. There are plenty of struggling people out there for lots of different reasons who are not going to run to assassinate somebody else's character for views. They're not going to run to assassinate someone else's character for monetary gain and monetary value. That's just not cool. That's not kosher. That's not right. You don't know what type of problems that she could have caused or did cause in this man's life in the 4 days that she was on this tirade. So I don't know yet. I'm not saying that she was wrong, guys, because we haven't gotten to the end of it yet. But from everything that I can see, there's a lot of red flags here. There are red flags everywhere. There are red flags everywhere. Soft Rain said, hit that like button. It's free 99. Yes, it is. Please hit the like button. Not just the heart that's in the corner, but make sure you guys hit the X and hit the actual thumbs up like button. YouTube algorithms, that's just how they do things. They want us to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's continue on with our story because we don't want to back up ourselves today.
And that's really helping me through this tough time. So I just want to let you guys know I really appreciate the outpouring of support. So the update is last night I was made aware, a bunch of people started commenting on my pages that DoorDash made a public statement about me on their TikTok story and on their most recent Instagram post in the comment section. And I'm not going to speak too much further on details, but what I am going to say is I and the entire rest of the world found out why I lost my job at the exact same time. I didn't find out before you guys. I'm just letting you know this right now. The people that saw their public statements and made me aware that they made those public statements knew why I lost my job before I did. because I went and I checked my email once I was made aware that they made those public statements, and they sent me the deactivation email around the same time they released the public statements, like literally within the same hour. So they sent me my deactivation email explaining my reason for being deactivated a whole 24 hours after they deactivated me, and a whole 24 hours after I already submitted my appeal, and about 12 hours after they had already denied my appeal. They finally sent me the email explaining why they fired me. So I and the rest of the world, we all found out why I lost my job together. That's the update.
It's important to note that she's not an employee of DoorDash, but a contractor. So she has very little legal rights to fight back on this. And eventually, the internet was provided with an explosive piece of new information. Supposedly, the door wasn't wide open, as Olivia claimed, but there was only a small, tiny crack. And the shocking revelation was that Olivia had pushed the door open and walked inside. A screenshot from a video can be seen here, which shows that the door was only slightly open when Olivia arrived. For some people, this confirmed who the victim was all along, Austin. Olivia should have left the delivery by the door as requested, and this video proved that she had been dishonest this whole time. Naturally, people were furious.
Getting told to leave food at somebody's door, then seeing your door cracked open, pushing it open, and then seeing them laying on the couch doing shit in the privacy of their own home does not make you a victim of SA. Stop milking such a horrible, heinous thing for views. It's very obvious what you're doing, and it's sickening. It really is sickening to watch that.
The problem with this narrative is that there was no video, or at the very least, all of the people who claimed to have seen this video did not bother downloading it. This YouTuber, Taylor, couldn't find the video anywhere.
So many of the comments jump on her saying, you said that you pushed the door open in a previous video. Everybody is scouring the internet for any sort of shred of proof that she said that she pushed the door open. Nobody can find it. There is no proof that she said that she ever pushed the door open. And genuinely, I think that if she did say that, there would be at least one person who would have that video, because millions of people saw it. I don't think it exists myself. I don't think it does.
The YouTuber and TikToker Ryan Beard couldn't find the video either.
I tried to search for this deleted video for a couple of hours and it just does not exist.
And another YouTuber, August the Duck, looked even closer at the screenshot and found out what it was.
If you've been following this or looking into this, you've probably seen a screenshot that looks like this, which a lot of people are using as, quote, evidence to show, look, the door was just cracked. She had to have pushed it open. If you look at this screenshot and that is the conclusion you come to, I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't like using this word, but you're stupid. You're a dumbass. You can literally see on the left the clean line that cuts this caption off, because this is just a cropped picture made to look like the door was cracked when it wasn't.
Olivia, for what it's worth, has also denied this too.
There have been a lot of people saying things like I entered the customer's home or I opened the customer's door, but I can assure you that I did not do either of those things, and I have obtained irrefutable proof that the door was already wide open when I arrived to the customer's house. But due to its importance, I cannot post that proof at this time.
If anything, all of this false information played right into Olivia's victim narrative, and she was now also the victim of a vicious smear campaign coordinated by random people on the internet. You would expect that this would have only given her more momentum, and even more TikToks would follow. Instead, she was surprisingly absent from social media. Weeks and weeks passed by, but there was nothing but radio silence. Her biggest complaint was that the police had done nothing, but in reality, the police had been incredibly busy. And in a strange twist of fate, there was an arrest made by the police.
DoorDash girl has been arrested. Yep, Olivia Henderson, the woman who came onto TikTok shouting to anyone that would listen that she had been sexually assaulted by a customer, has been arrested on 2 felony charges. And listen to the felonies: unlawful surveillance for amusement or profit, and dissemination of surveillance images for sale or publishing. The arrest record from Oswego County, New York says Olivia was arrested on November 10th at 9:46 p.m., was later released and is due back in court on December 4th. I absolutely believe she thought she was going to sue DoorDash when they fired her. Come to find out, being fired from DoorDash was the least of her worries.
For people who took Austin's side, this was the gotcha moment, which proved that she was a liar all along. For Olivia's supporters, you could still argue that she was still a victim, but just responded in a completely careless fashion by posting it on social media. But here's perhaps the nail in the coffin for anyone still taking Olivia's side. All of this time, Olivia repeatedly told her fans that the door was wide open. According to the police report, who have access to ring footage of the incident, Olivia proceeded to open the closed entrance door and went inside. This is despite the fact that Olivia was instructed to leave the order at the door. So let's now walk back to what she said earlier.
There have been a lot of people saying things like I entered the customer's home or I opened the customer's door, but I can assure you that I did not do either of those things, and I have obtained irrefutable proof that the door was already wide open when I arrived to the customer's house. But due to its importance, I cannot post that proof at this time.
And of course, the missing
See, my thing is like this: if this happened, and Uncle Plug said, "Let's see if the door was open or not. Drop the food and leave. You want content? You lost your job." Yeah, it looks like she wanted content, and that's why she did this. That's what it looks like to me. There other creators have searched the internet for videos of her pushing the door open. They're not there. Ultimately, we're going to continue to find out.
video may have just genuinely disappeared from the internet, but the police report contained yet another bombshell. And at long last, we found out Austin's intentions.
An investigation was initiated by the Oswego Police Department, during which it was discovered that the delivery driver had taken a video of the nude male. The video, along with the subsequent investigation, indicates that the male was incapacitated and unconscious on the couch due to alcohol consumption. The video was taken from the exterior of the male's residence. The DoorDash driver subsequently posted the video to social media, where it drew significant attention. It was further discovered that the DoorDash driver had made claims of being assaulted during this incident. The investigation by the Oswego Police Department determined that no assault occurred. Like we all said, no assault had occurred. The male depicted in the video cooperated with police, and he provided a statement. So now we know that he did also provide a statement, which was a question that you guys were asking, and I had said that he had to have given a statement in order for these charges to be lobbied.
The problem for Olivia's supporters is that you can't prove that Austin had bad intentions. You can only speculate. If he had done this to a bunch of other women, there would be some sort of substance to this claim, but his record was completely clean. With Olivia, there's indisputable evidence of her breaking the law. She's accused of publishing surveillance images, aka the first video you saw of her outside his home, and for using this footage for profit, which refers to her attempts to monetize the incident. And from these TikToks, you can actually see some bad intentions of her own. Her first mistake was to frame her attack as an SA, when at worst, it was harassment. There are even women who took offense to this choice of words.
I disagree that she should be coming on here saying that she was really assaulted. And I feel like that is such a deep insult to people who have actually been really assaulted. And I'm only mentioning that because I have not really seen that be talked about. It's so insane to me. She may feel violated, she may feel wronged, but calling this a sexual assault is just so backwards to me.
And if you look back at the TikTok videos, they look less like someone reporting a crime and more like someone performing for social media.
To me, the panning down from the food up to the man, zooming in on the man, turning it to herself, doing the walk away with the finger on the mouth, going,
Yeah,
that's effed up.
yeah, that's what
That
I'm
to
saying.
me is very dramatized, as if it was made for a TikTok video to perform well, to get views. That to me is not documenting an incident. The way that video was filmed, it was filmed to be posted on TikTok. It was not filmed for the police. And if you go and look at her previous TikToks, you can see very clearly that she is posting to get views. The topics that she is posting about, the way that she is posting, she has been posting for quite a long time.
Hey, y'all thirsties, don't go over there and check on any of her videos. No, that is not what that was for. Don't go checking on her videos. Obviously, there's something wrong here, and we're gonna continue to test this down.
She has so many videos. This is something that she wants to do as a career, is to post on TikTok. And you can see that. You'll also notice that she does jump from job to job. With that being said, I can't accuse her of posting this solely for views. I'm sure that she did feel, I mean, like, if you are seeing somebody's naked body that you were not expecting or not wanting to see, obviously you're going to be bothered by that. But legally speaking, that is not sexual assault.
While online sleuths have been divided, the real life sleuths, aka the police investigating the situation faster than they investigated the David situation, but these are completely different parts of the country, have firmly sided with Austin. She posted a naked photo of him online, shared his address, and accused him of being some form of deviant to millions of people. His life, as a result, may have been ruined. But Olivia's could now be worse. She's facing 2 felony charges which could follow her for the rest of her life. Felonies usually imply a significant amount of prison time, and it was initially speculated that she could face 8 years in prison. However, there are lawyers that have argued that this fate could be avoided.
They did give her 2 felony charges, 2 e-felony charges, both of which carry a prison sentence. If she goes to trial and loses, she could get probation on those.
This is a non-violent first-time offender, and we are looking anywhere from realistically no incarceration, straight probation, to some sort of minimal sentence. Although in this situation, probably a couple months maybe is a realistic thing. So yes, theoretically, you could have 8 years, although not really, because although they are distinct offenses, they're part of the same underlying criminal transaction. So you'd be unlikely to stack the sentences and say 4 + 4, right?
When it comes to the actual trial, it will be very difficult to deny the charges that she's being accused of. And her best course of action is damage mitigation.
Her best option probably is to plead. Yeah, maybe they'll drop it to a misdemeanor. That's plausible. Yeah, so her best option is to plead it down to a misdemeanor, make the whole thing go away. That's probably where this thing's going to land out at the end of the day if I had to bet.
For the guy involved, there's not much he can do either beyond this point.
The man can sue her. Now, of course, the problem with that is she doesn't have any money. She's judgment proof, as they say. She's a DoorDash driver. So yeah, we can sue him, but like for what? Nothing. Right? We can't sue them. And how can we? And we can't sue. I mean, we can win. We just can't collect because there's no money. We can't sue TikTok because what did TikTok do? TikTok isn't. We can't sue TikTok because CDA 230. They are immune. And we can't sue DoorDash because what did they do? They didn't do anything. Right? They didn't. They just told her to go to the house and leave it at the door.
And there are people who think that this case should be turned on its head and that she should be charged with essaying him.
And the nature of the violation here was not for sexual gratification. It was not released for the purpose of delight. It was released for the purpose of just amusement and degradation, which is not a triggerable offense, right? Because
in the wake of what's happened, it's interesting to reflect on what lessons can be learned from this whole episode. It goes without saying that making unverified claims on social media comes with consequences when the potential for virality is far higher than it's ever been in the past. But even if Olivia had claimed that Austin had harassed her instead of essayed her, she could have made things much easier for herself. If you're going to accuse somebody of something, you bear the responsibility of accurately stating what you claim that they did. And sharing a picture of someone in the privacy of their own home is a crime. End of story.
You can't post someone unclothed on the internet without their consent. This was not her stepping forward. This was her just breaking the law. I'm telling you, if she just contacted DoorDash, contacted the authorities, I promise you she wouldn't have been arrested. She still even could have came to social media and told her story without showing the video or giving us his name. Now, I'm not saying anything would have happened to bro.
It's hard to find anyone that comes across well in this entire story. I'm sure many people who sided with Austin are basking in the glory of being correct, as they should and as they deserve to. But these are probably the same people who fell for the story that she had opened the door initially without proof or video evidence of that either. The truth is that we're subject to our own biases. And if we don't acknowledge them, there's a danger of something similar happening all over again. Think about if there wasn't as much evidence as there was in this situation, a man's life and reputation could have been ruined for the mistake of falling asleep in his own home.
Do you think that?
Yeah, like there is a huge problem with people that are doing things in today's society purely for attention. There's a very big difference between doing something because you are on your wits' end. It's the last option that you have. She wasn't going through an emotional moment. She was creating a scene for herself. She was creating a scene for herself so that she could be elevated on this platform. I want to see what the arrest is all about. You guys want to see what the arrest is all about? You guys want to see what was going on with that? I do. So we're going to check it out.
Well, the infamous DoorDash girl just got arrested and charged with felonies. Olivia Henderson went viral last month after she posted a video of her dropping off a DoorDash delivery, only to find that the man that she was delivering to was passed out and naked on his couch, with his door wide open. At least that's what she claimed. We'll get to that in a second.
She posted the video online claiming that she'd been sexually assaulted, and the entire internet blew up disagreeing on who was the real victim here, her or the guy on the couch. Well, it turns out the police are Team Couch Guy, because Olivia just got charged with unlawful surveillance and dissemination.
Unlawful surveillance? Oh yeah. Dissemination of private photos. Huh.
Of surveillance images, which are both felonies in New York where this happened.
Online, people have been particularly debating whether she opened the door, if the door was already wide open when she arrived. Everyone's also talking about Ring doorbell footage that shows exactly what happened here.
But anyone who says they've seen that Ring doorbell footage is wrong. There's no record of the footage online, and it hasn't been released publicly. If you think you've seen this footage, it was most likely fake or AI.
Now, there are a few sources that have said the Ring doorbell footage shows her opening the door. But if you try to trace back those sources, you can't, because they're not actually citing a source.
That said, police likely do have some kind of doorbell or surveillance footage, because in the only press release so far, they mentioned that they reviewed other independent video, meaning video other than Olivia's video, which would logically be some kind of doorbell or house camera. So it's likely that some kind of footage does exist here showing the truth. But anyone who claims they've seen the footage is a liar poopy pants.
And legally, it doesn't actually matter if she opened the door or not, because the felony she's been charged with doesn't require any sort of breaking or entering or trespassing anyway. Well, the infamous DoorDash girl just got arrested and
Yeah, it
charged.
doesn't matter if she opened the door or not. It doesn't matter.
This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember, I'm the victim.
No, she's absolutely not the victim. We all now know that she was criminally charged on November 10th with 2 Class E felonies. So will she serve time in jail? In the state of New York, where she's being prosecuted, a Class E felony is punishable by up to 4 years in a state prison. So being that there are 2 Class E felonies that she's being charged with, it would be up to a judge to decide whether or not these are served consecutively or concurrently, which means she could serve up to 4 or 8 years. In addition to prison sentencing, the judge could also apply sex offender conditions. On top of that, she could receive up to 5 years felony probation for each of the 2 charges, which means 10 years felony probation. And Olivia could be fined up to $5,000 per each of these Class E felonies, which means a $10,000 fine. But if during the course of this case, they are able to prove that she profited off it, which we all assume that she had a creator fund and was making money off of every single one of these videos, that $5,000 per occurrence fine could be doubled to $10,000, which means she could be facing up to $20,000 in fines. And on top of that, she could be ordered to be in mandatory counseling and also ordered to not be allowed on social media for the extent of her probation. Now, a lot of times, because it's a Class E felony, which is a nonviolent offense, and it is her first offense, judges have a tendency to be more lenient on first-time offenders, but she does have 2 charges. And one of the things that judges look at when they make their decisions is the impact on the victim. And think about the impact on this particular victim. 1, his naked photographs were spread out to millions of people. Think of how many people in this situation downloaded that video of him naked on his couch and have it on their phone that they could repost again, that they could use against him later. This could have lifelong impacts for him.
Police are doing.
Leave the food by the door. No, I'm going in.
I am the victim. I am the victim. I am
That's AI, y'all.
Leave the food on the
That's
door?
AI.
No, I'm going in now.
That's AI, y'all.
I am the victim. I am the victim. I am the victim.
Sir, I have your.
Okay, no AI. We're not dealing with AI slop. But so far, what we got is that she was bogus and what she did. I guess there is video of what happened. Obviously, we haven't seen the video because they haven't released the video. But the New York Police Department, I guess, in the prosecutor's office or whatever, the assistant state's attorney or the state's attorney, they decided that she needed to be charged, and we're going to follow it to see what she gets, because this was pretty viral around October, which is, just last month. It was just last month. She probably needs a mental evaluation. I mean, yeah, she probably does. I mean, most of us need mental evaluations. Most of us are crazy, allegedly. I think she needs one, because instead of calling the police when there could have been an actual incident, or instead of, actually talking to somebody about this, she made a story up. She used a guy, tried to ruin his life to do so. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. People are getting hurt here, and she seemed to not care about it at all, and then immediately wanted to blame men, saying, "Oh, it's a man's world. It's a man's world." What do men have to do with that? We didn't do anything to you. That man didn't do anything to her. It's really kind of sad. It's really kind of sad. I'm not really a big fan of what just happened there. We got how much time we got left? We got maybe 30 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes. Let's see if I can get another one in before before we have to go. Okay, so I do have another one for us. So guys, there is an active, most likely active SKer. There's most likely an active SKer. I want to review the story of what's going on down there in Houston, or was it Louisiana? One of the two. We're gonna find out because, like, once again, we watch these videos together, and we try to make the most sense of it. And so, keeping with the theme of True Crime Monday, we're gonna have another SKer that's possibly active in our world today in 2025, and we're gonna review that one right now. And that'll be the last thing we do. I might do a part 2 for everyone else that was waiting on some Shador Sanders information that we were going to throw out there, or the other video of the rapper, the aspiring musician that we were going to do today. But we're running out of time. We're running out of time fast, guys. So maybe I'll do a part 2 tonight. Maybe I'll do a part 2 after the classic codes. How do you guys feel about that? Should I do part 2 with the other stories after the classic codes? What do you guys think in the chat? Because we seem to have a pretty free day at the moment. We don't have anything going on from what I've seen. Let's get this one out the way right now, though.
Residents are demanding more surveillance along our bayous after another body is found in a Houston waterway.
Police say a woman's body was found in Buffalo Bayou near Commerce and Milam Streets downtown last night. This is the 6th body recovered in less than 2 weeks from bayous across town. 5 of the deceased have now been identified.
Orco Men Live downtown in Orco, our viewers have been very vocal about what they want to see in response to this. Tell us.
Yeah, Len, our comment sections on social media are filled with people saying more surveillance cameras are needed along the bayou. City leaders tell me that's just not feasible, but criminal justice experts say cameras might be the best way to prove what city officials and police have been saying all along, that no serial killer is on the loose. Another body found in Houston's bayous. Police say a woman was spotted in the water near Commerce and Milam Streets around 11:30 last night.
Officers were alerted to this by people that are riding by on scooters, and when they noticed something that appeared to be a body.
This is the 6th body recovered in bayous in less than 2 weeks, leading many to believe it's the work of a serial killer. City leaders saying earlier this week that's not the case.
There's no evidence that there's a serial killer loose on the streets of Houston.
But the public wants answers. KHOU11 viewers Hannah, Lucy, and Chris all commenting on our posts online, asking for more surveillance cameras by the water. I brought that to City Council member Carolyn Evans Shabazz.
A lot of people have come to us asking for more surveillance by the water. Is that something the City Council is looking into?
I have heard that suggestion, but I don't know how we could implement that. To say that we can install cameras, we would have no idea where to put them because we don't know where the bodies went into the bayou.
To be honest, serial killer.
I'm pretty sure that whoever the serial killer is probably just watching the news and just laughing hilariously as though they don't have a TV and paying attention. The only logical explanation for this, and I got this again, I was talking about this a little bit on the Millionaire Morning Show, but the only logical explanation for this to be playing out and the city telling the people that there's no serial killer on the loose instead of telling them to be more vigilant, stay in pairs, ladies don't go out by yourself, be careful at night, so on and so forth. The only thing that I could be thinking of is maybe they don't want the serial killer to get the satisfaction and they're using the people as bait, right? And so they hoping to basically trap this guy by pretending like it's not a serial killer on the loose so they don't give him credit because, as Mindhunter and Criminal Minds has taught us, serial killers love to be famous and revisit the scene of a crime. That's the only thing I can think of, because if you find 6 bodies in no time and they're just popping up over in Houston, where there's a large population of people, they're not even telling you what the bodies are based off of my research. A lot of people are basically telling me that they're women and they're not saying it's just bodies, right? Like they keep telling.
So at this point right now, we've come to see that we've got six people who are missing, 6 people who turned up no longer living. And they're just now giving out information about this in Houston. Anton Daniels is covering it. As y'all are well aware, Anton Daniels covers a lot of things. If you haven't checked out Anton Daniels' show, you could probably find just about any subject on the Anton Daniels show. He has a nightly panel as well with about 9 people that he has show up on there. Some people were very surprising that I'd seen show up, and I recognized them and did that. I was going to see anybody that I recognized on the show. Just goes to show you how small the community is now, doesn't it? By community, I mean content creators and people who sit in front of their microphones in their home offices and talk to the people. the way that we do, the way that I do, the way that this guy in front of you, Tez, does. So we're going to continue on with the Anton Daniels video. This is some real stuff that's going on right now, y'all.
You bodies, but they're not telling you the sixth woman has popped up, and it just so happened to be this type of woman, and she fits this description and all of this other type of stuff. They don't give any details. They've only identified one person, but you're supposed to feel safe. You're supposed to just be walking and riding and having a good time. I've seen people throw a bunch of theories because they're saying that the city, they believe the city. The city council won't really tell you the real reason. And when this mayor first got elected, this new mayor got elected, and I don't think he's a bad mayor. The last mayor was trash, and they got caught up in this scandal with the whole water and all this stuff. But what they won't tell you is that the city is actually broke. Yeah. The reason why they don't want to add any more cameras is because they don't have any wiggle room inside of the budget. And so you got a lot of these liberal cities, even though it's in Texas, that is basically under duress. And so they can't add any more anything else to the budget. And so then that leaves you guys on your own to be vigilant against possible serial killers that's preying against women over in Houston. It's so dumb. I actually had an opportunity to walk through this area in this bayou where they keep on finding all these bodies. And I don't know. I just don't understand how city officials can tell people, hey, don't worry about it. It's not the possibility of a serial killer. But then they haven't found any of the people who allegedly are killing all of these people over in Houston. But let's continue. Let's get into it.
Killers are very rare. Even so, criminal justice expert
Serial killers
Krista
are very
Gehring
rare.
tells me more cameras might be what's needed to put those rumors to rest. How important is it to try to show that to people who are convinced there is a serial killer?
I think it's very important because obviously when you have these bodies showing up seemingly all at once, there's obvious concern. The camera might actually capture where an individual falls into the bayou or has an accident or
Get the hell out
or
of
whatever, because that's likely what is happening.
So people tripping and falling into a bayou, one by one. All of a sudden, they don't know where they're going, and they just starting to trip and fall into a whole bayou over in Houston. Okay, if they want us to believe that, we'll go.
Houston police are investigating another tragic find, a woman's body recovered from Buffalo Bayou. Scooter riders first spotted the body just after midnight at Commerce Street and Milam Street in downtown.
No more scooter rides for me down there.
This is the sixth body recovered from a Houston bayou since last Monday.
Hysteria and misinformation online have fueled.
Now, y'all got to remember, this is the sixth body since last Monday. They've been finding bodies all year. I've been hearing that they've been found over 17 bodies this year in the bayou.
Over a possible serial killer in Houston. It is a fair question given the frequency of bodies recovered from the city's bayous, but both HPD and Mayor John Whitmire insist there is no evidence of a serial killer. Investigators say there is no evidence as of yet to link these 6 deaths either.
But some people are still suspicious, as you can imagine. They want to know how investigators can be so sure the deaths are not connected.
KPRC2 reporter Joy Addison has answers. Joy, you spoke with a criminal justice professor.
Well, I mean, I think we got enough from this video to talk about this together. I'm not really sure why they won't tell people what's really going on. It's not 1956, it's 2025, and people need to be safe. And I think that it's a lot harder to be safe when you don't know what's going on with your city, with your surroundings, the people who you're involved with. I think it's really hard when that's the case. I do believe that we're going to find out more about this, and I do hope they catch this guy. I really do. It's a little bit nuts that there's a guy walking around doing this to people, or group of people, or a lady. We don't know the details because they haven't given us any. All we know is that the news has told us that this is what they keep finding, and I highly doubt that's a bunch of people just walking into it. I really do. I highly doubt it. So we got time for the random video of the day. There doesn't seem to be too many questions based on what just happened there. We're going to go over into our random video of the day, and we're going to find out what we're going to see. All right, this one's got 3.5 million views. Why don't we check out one of the ones that it's got 3.5 million views? We're going to see why it's so good. Okay, we're going to see why it's so good and why it got so many views. So you guys buckle up, get ready. We're going to watch a random video of the day, and we're going to comment on it. Then we're going to get up out of here.
Never going to the gym again. I will never show my face in the gym again. The most embarrassing fucking shit happened to me. I decided I wanted to go to the gym, be productive, be healthy. Should have just stayed in bed eating a bag of Cheetos, but no, I wanted to be productive. Finished doing laundry, and I just went and I grabbed a t-shirt and sweatpants and got in the car, drove to the gym. Get to the gym, I start working out. I'm using the elliptical that's in the middle of the room, and the gym's packed. Like 35 minutes into my workout, and I'm just getting a whole bunch of people staring at me. I'm like, why are you staring at me? Like, do you recognize me from TikTok? Is that it? Is that I'll sign autographs later? But
guys,
no,
we already watched this one. We watched this one last week. We're gonna watch another one.
you're not gonna. I want to die. I just had the worst first impression of my life. I came tagging along to work with my mom today.
It's kind of funny that first impressions came up because we did the first segment of the RSC panel together, all in one place in Chicago, and that was the first topic, was first impressions. So this is pretty good.
She is currently in the nice lady's house while I'm in the car contemplating my life choices. All right. Yeah. So I'm lactose intolerant. Okay. And my husband tells me all the time, stop drinking milk, stop eating dairy products. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not fine. Anyways,
your
I went
husband.
and I got a Cookout milkshake. Okay. My favorite M&M milkshake. I finish the M&M milkshake. Okay. And then I feel something brewing in my stomach. It's like, so I had to go use the bathroom. Which you do. If you didn't know this, my mom owns a cleaning business, all right? And she has her employees. So we come to this house with her employees, all right? So there's multiple people in this house at this point. My mom introduces me to her client. She's like, oh, this is my daughter, Isabella. Yeah, hi. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. Very nice to meet you. And then my mom was like, she just wanted to come in real quick, use your bathroom really quickly. Is that all right? And then like the sweet little old lady is like, yeah, that's fine. You could use the bathroom that's right here next to us. Meantime, my stomach is fucking pits of hell sound. My stomach quiets down for a little bit. It's like, chill, you know? I gotta go to the bathroom, but it's not like perfect. All right, this is gonna be done and easy. No. The worst part is that they were like right outside the bathroom because the bathroom's right next to the living room.
This is
I hear them talking. All right, I hear them talking. And then all of a sudden, I just let out the biggest fucking fart. And it's not just
No.
one fart. It's that one that you can't stop.
No.
The
No.
and all you hear is silence. My soul left my body at that point. I get out of the bathroom and they're right there. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I don't know why, but my natural instinct was to just look at the old lady and be like, thank you. As I was walking out of the house, y'all, it gets worse. One of my mom's employees was on the second floor, so she didn't hear it, okay? The employee comes down as I'm walking out, and she walks inside the bathroom, and
You should have warned her.
all you hear is, ugh!
You should have warned her. You should say, no, hey, don't go in there. I would have said, don't go in there.
Oh my God. You're not gonna, I want to die.
Yeah. Look, as someone who is also lactose intolerant, I will tell you, do not go through this situation unnecessarily. Just don't do it. You don't need the milk anyway. You don't. It came from another animal. Animals don't drink milk from other animals. It's not natural. Okay. You don't need the milkshake if you're lactose intolerant and your body can't handle it, doesn't want to break it down correctly. You gave yourself bubble guts for no reason. Why would you do a thing like that? You know, this is the second time that this lady has come up in these storytime videos, and it looks like she gets a lot of attention because of it. So I can't tell you whether she's making these up or not, or if they're true. All I know is if these are true, she needs to pay a little bit more attention to her surroundings. She needs to pay a little bit more attention to the things that she does. And these types of mistakes are kind of grody. The last two that she's talked about have been disgusting. Disgusting. We're not going to watch anymore from her if we can help it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to spread lunacy around the internet spaces. Today's episode was a little bit lighter than the normal videos that we have, except for what's going on now there in Houston. You know, except for that. I mean, there's a lot that we could talk about here, and I think that we might need to do a part 2 of this later on tonight, which I might be down for. You know, if I get the right amount of feedback and the positivity and the things that I need to do it, or I might just go on TikTok and I might talk about it on TikTok. I might do that. We'll see. We'll see how I can integrate things into the Tacoverse. If I can integrate things into the Tacoverse, fine, then I'll do a live stream on TikTok too. If you guys didn't know, the TikTok that I use is Soul Reaper 24. I still need some more follows on there so I can monetize correctly. You know, TikTok is nice about monetization, but you know, you can't monetize correctly until you get 1,000 followers. And I'm really not that good at going to get followers. All the followers that I get and all the videos that you guys get. Did you see the thing about Pros? No, I didn't see the thing about pros. Tell me about it. Tell me about it while we're in here. This could be a part of our chat Q&A. Not to point out anything Q, but chat Q&A can be a part of what Q's going to talk about. Let me know what's going on there. I did see the thing about pros. Yeah, let me see. Q6025. You know, guys got to protect yourselves. You got to stay awake. You got to have the right surroundings. You guys have to make sure that when you're outside, you're checking your six. You can't just be out there all willy-nilly. This is why I don't like public intoxication. You know, public intoxication can lead you in a lot of places that you don't want to go to. You know, intoxication of any substances publicly can lead you into places that you don't want to go to. And you can end up on my show on the test down, not as a participant, but as somebody that we're reviewing. And I don't want that to happen to any of you. I really don't. But stupid is as stupid does. And when people do stupid things, we does watch it and we does view it and we does comment on it. And we do give our opinion. Again, this is Men's Mental Health Month of November. There's only a couple days left in it, but if you are a man, if you are struggling, and if you have anything that is going on that you don't feel like you have anybody to talk about, make sure you reach out to someone. There is a hotline available. I believe it's a 999 or a 988 number. But just look out it. It's not about, it doesn't always have to be the most extreme thing. Sometimes you just feel down. When you've tried everything, when you've done everything, when you've seen that you can't change the way that things are going, whether there's a person in your life that may have caused it or not, or had been the catalyst, not necessarily the cause, but the catalyst for you to dive into where you dived into, you might need somebody to talk to. You might need to let it out. And I'm not saying go and bleed all over people with your feelings. I'm saying that you need to have something constructive going on in your life and a real outlet that you can actually be positive to and make changes in. Q says he got arrested for funneling money to one of the Obama campaigns. They tried to give him life for it, wound up getting like 14 years. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. Funneling money to political campaigns is risky business, to say the least. If you guys are going to donate to anybody, you can donate to me. You can donate to me. There you go. You can donate to me. You can donate to the Raw Society Coalition. You guys can donate to Classic, Conversations with Sovereign, Souls of Thought, No Middleman Podcast, or even the Ben Podcast. You guys could definitely go check out the sports that we covered today on the Digitally Dreaming Off the Gridiron Podcast. That is the DDOG Podcast. You guys can find me there covering sports today. That can even be your Shador Sanders section. But we covered the NFL and the happenings of the NFL and Monday Night Football for tonight, because it is a True Crime Monday, but that's also Monday Night Football, which usually is a true crime because Monday Night Football, all the primetime night games haven't really been that great lately, have they? I don't think so. But yeah, that is nuts. Maybe we can cover a little bit of that tomorrow, or maybe we can cover a little bit of that tonight. We might be able to cover some of that if we do a part 2 for tonight, and which we might end up doing because I don't think we got enough in today. I really don't. But I want to tell you guys, I want you to go over after you leave here. I want you to go over and I want you to check out these. This is the Raw Society Coalition. And at the top, you see, we have the Classic Codes, Souls of Thought, Uncle Plug TV, Conversations with Soft Rain, and then you have me at the very bottom, the test down. Gotta have the test down at the bottom. That's what you have to do. You guys can go ahead and check that out. There's some cool content on there. There was going to be a lot more content being dropped on that page. Any of the collaborations that you've seen being done, they're going to be dropped there. So if you haven't given the Raw Society Coalition a follow, you should give the Raw Society Coalition a follow. There's all types of stuff that you're going to see there, as well as some IRL streams and in-person panels. There was a couple different shows that were ran there. I believe the Red Room was there. I want to do a Red Room review. Maybe I'll do a Red Room review tonight. Maybe that's what I'll do. You guys, would you guys like that? A Red Room review, a Classic Codes Red Room review. That's going to be adults only. It's on the sexier side of life from what I've been told. So That's what I think. That's what I think that you guys should go ahead and do. That's what I think that I should do. You know, I apologize to everyone watching for being a little bit short today, but we don't really want to bump up. You know, we had our blocks fixed the way that our blocks are fixed, and that's the way that we're going to do things. And I went a little later than what I'd normally go, but I think that we had the right type of outcome. Everybody that wanted to see it saw it, and to anyone else that didn't see it, you guys will be able to see it on the replay. You know, and I think that's the right way to go about doing it. That's got to be the right way. So without further ado, and with enough being said, I am Tez. I am 24. This has been the Tez Down. I'll catch you. Maybe I'll catch you in a less than another 24.